Hi. We're going to be reading part of Demon Dentist, Demon Dentist. Wow, who would have guessed? It's a book by David Walliams and Tony Fox. Tony Ross. Tony Ross. And I'm going to be reading this bit by bit through each video, like 2 or 1 paragraphs each video. So I'm going to start. Darkness had come to the town. Strange things were happening in the dead of night. Children would put a tooth under their pillow at bedtime, excitedly waiting for the tooth fairy to leave a coin. In the morning they would wake up to find something unspeakable under there. A dead slug, a live spider, hundreds and hundreds of earwigs creeping and crawling beneath their pillow. Or worse, much worse. Someone or something had come into their bedrooms in the hours of darkness, snatched the tooth and left a blood-curdling calling card behind. Evil was at work. But who and what was behind it? How could they sneak into children's bedrooms without being seen? And what could they possibly want with all those teeth? Meet the characters in this story. Alfie, a boy with rotten teeth. Dad, Alfie's dad. Gabs, a little girl. Miss Root, a dentist. And Fang, her cat. Miss Hare, a science teacher. Winnie, a social worker. Raj, a news agent. And PC Plank, a police officer. There's a few more. Texting boy, a boy who never stops texting. Mr. Gray, a headmaster. Mr. Snood, a drama teacher. And Mrs. Morrissey, an old lady. A simple case of toothache. Alfie hated going to the dentist. As a result, the boy's teeth were almost all yellow. The ones that weren't yellow were brown. They bore the stains of all the goodies that children love, but dentists hate. Sweets, fizzy drinks, chocolate. The teeth that were neither yellow nor brown simply weren't there anymore. They had fallen out. One had bitten into a toffee and stayed there. Assorted fruit-flavoured chews had claimed others. This is what young Alfie's teeth looked like when he smiled. That's because this 12-year-old boy hadn't gone to the dentist since he was very little. Alfie's last visit was when he was around 6, so that was 6 years ago. It was a simple case of toothache, but it ended in a disaster. The dentist was an ancient man, Mr. Erstwell. Despite his good intentions, Mr. Erstwell should have retired many years before. The dentist looked like a tortoise, and an old tortoise at that. He wore glasses so thick that they made his eyes appear the size of tennis balls. Mr. Erstwell told Alfie the tooth in question was rotten. A filling wouldn't save it, and unfortunately he had no option but to take it out. The dentist yanked with his huge steel forceps, but the tool wouldn't come. Mr. Erstwell even rested his foot upon the chair by Alfie's head to lever himself against the wretched tooth out. Still, it wouldn't come. The ancient dentist then enlisted the help of his even older dental nurse. Miss Prigg was instructed to hold on to him and tug as hard as she could. Even then, the tooth wouldn't come. Soon the hefty receptionist, Miss Veal, was asked to step into the room to help. Miss Veal weighed more than Mr. Erstwell and Miss Prigg put together. But even with her ballast, the tooth wouldn't come. Just then the dentist had an idea, and ordered Miss Prig to fetch him particularly thick dental floss. He carefully tied the floss around the forceps, then looped it around Miss Veal's ample frame. The dentist then instructed his rotund receptionist to leap out of the window and count on the count of 3. But even with all of Miss Veal's immense weight yanking on the boy's tooth, it still wouldn't come. With poor young Alfie still lying on the dentist's chair, Mr. Aswell stepped into the waiting room to request reinforcements. The growing crowd of patients waited to be seen, and they were all called upon to assist. Young and old, fat and thin, the elderly just needed all the help he could get. Nevertheless, even with a lengthy human chain and an army of yankers, made up word alert, the tooth stayed. Well and truly put. By this time, poor little Alfie was in great distress. The pain of having his tooth pulled out was 100 times worse than the toothache. However, Mr. Oswald was determined to finish what he had started, sweating profusely. The thirsty dentist took a large swig of mouthwash and gripped onto the forceps as tightly as he could. Finally, after what seemed like days, weeks, even months of yanking, Alfie heard a deafening crunch. The dentist had gripped so hard he had crushed the tooth. It exploded into thousands of tiny fragments inside Alfie's mouth. With the ordeal finally over, Mr. Oswald and his helpers were lying in a tangled heap on the surgery floor. Well done, everyone, he announced, as his assistant, Miss Prig, helped him fall to his feet. That tooth was a stubborn little blighter. Just then Alfie realised something. He still had toothache. The dentist had taken out the wrong tooth. Okay, this is the second chapter. I'm going to read this one right now, and then next video I'll do the third chapter. Alfie ran into the dental surgery as fast as his little legs would carry him. That fateful afternoon, the boy vowed that he would never ever go to the dentist again. To this day, he never had. Appointments had come and appointments had gone. Alfie had missed every single one. Over the years, there had been a sack full of reminder letters from the dentist, but Alfie had hidden them all from his dad. Alfie was a family of 2, just him and his father. The boy's mother had died giving birth to him, and he had never known her. Sometimes he felt sad, as if he missed his mother, but then he would tell himself he would miss someone he had never met. To hide appointment letters from the dentist, the boy would silently drag a stool across the kitchen floor. Alfie was short for his age. He was, in fact, the second shortest kid at school, so he would have to balance on his tiptoes on the stool to reach the top of the ladder. There he would hide the letters. There must have been 100 letters buried up there by now. And Alfie knew his father couldn't reach them. That's because for many years Ted had been unwell and had of late become confined into a wheelchair. Before ill health forced him out of work. Dad was a coal miner, a great big bear of a man. He had loved working down at the pit, providing for his beloved son. However, all those years that he'd spent down the mine took a terrible toll on his lungs. Dad was a proud man. He didn't let on about his illness for many years. He worked harder and harder to take more and more coal, even taking on extra shifts to help make ends meet. Meanwhile, his breathing became shallower and shallower, until one afternoon he collapsed at the coal face. When Dad finally came round at the hospital, the doctors told him he could never go down the mine again. Just one more lungful of coal dust could finish him off for good. As the years passed, Dad's breathing worsened. Getting another job became impossible, and even everyday tasks, something as simple as tying a shoelace, grew to be a struggle. Soon, Dad could only get around in a wheelchair. With no more brothers or sisters, Alfie had to care for his father alone. Besides having to go to school and do his homework, the boy would do all the shopping, all the cleaning, cook all the meals, and do the washing up. Alfie never complained though. He loved his dad with all his heart. Dad's body may have been broken, but his spirit wasn't. He had a great gift for telling stories. Listen, pup, he would begin. Dad would often call his son that, which Alfie loved. The image of a conjured up big soppy dog and a little puppy snuggling together always made the boy feel safe and warm inside. Listen, pup, Dad would say. All you have to do is close your eyes and believe. From their little bungalow, Dad would take his son on all sorts of thrilling adventures. They would ride on magic carpets, dive into the oceans, and even drive stakes through the hearts of vampires. It was a multicolored world of make-believe. In a million miles away from their black and white existence. Take me to the haunted house again, Daddy, the boy would beg. Perhaps today, my pup, we will take a journey to the old haunted castle. Dad would tease. Please, 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 Alfie would say. Father and son would close their eyes and meet in their daydreams. Together they went out fishing for the day in Scotland and caught the Loch Ness Monster, climbed the Himalayan mountains and came face to face with the abominable snowman. She slew a huge fire-breathing dragon, hid aboard a pirate ship and was forced to walk the plank of stowaways, only to be saved by beautiful mermaids. Moved a magic lamp and met a genie who gave them 3 wishes each, although Dad gave all of his wishes to his son. Rode on the back of a Pegasus, the winged horse in Greek mythology. Climbed up a stalk to the giant land and met an extremely hungry Cyclops, whose perfect idea of between meals and snacks was a scrawny little 12-year-old boy. So Dad had to save him. Pardon me. Became the first ever father and son team to successfully land on the moon in a homemade rocket, which chased across the misty moors at night by a ferocious werewolf. This was the world of imagination. Anything was possible in Dad and Alfie's adventures. Nothing could stop them. Nothing. As Alfie grew older, though, he found it harder and harder to see things as his dad spoke. The boy would open his eyes, become distracted, and begin to wish he could play computer games all night like the other kids at his big new school. But just close your eyes and believe, his dad would say. However, Alfie was beginning to think that now he was 12, nearly 13, he was too old to believe in magic and myths and fantastical creatures. He was about to find out how terribly wrong he was. Chapter 3 is Whiter Than White.